Good morning and welcome to another Experts Friday with Elisa James. We are streaming live on Facebook and also live on YouTube. So if you are watching this live right this second, please let me know that you're here by typing something in the comments below the video that you see on whatever platform that you are watching on. Today, it's all about inviting an expert to our space once again to chat about something that they are amazing at and that can help us be amazing at too. Now, today, my guest is no exception. I have the beautiful Wayne Donnelly, who is a hypnotist and NLP practitioner, and he helps facilitate behavioral change in his clients. Now, Wayne and I have been friends for a long time, and he's helped me through some massive blockages that I needed to release myself. So I know that this guy can really walk his talk. He was in a financial services career for about 25 years before he transitioned into behavioral change. So now he actually empowers clients to believe, think, and act very differently so that they can create their ideal business and their ideal life. So please welcome to the program today, Wayne Donnelly. Thank you so much for being here.
Wow, thank you, Elisa. That was a beautiful introduction.
You're very, very welcome. It's my pleasure. Now, this is a really interesting thing because a lot of people, like my partner, for instance, just said, I can't be hypnotized. There's a lot of people who would have blockages around being hypnotized. Do you remember years ago, because we're both about the same age, when mindset was pretty much a dirty word because we were being brainwashed by people like Tony Robbins? There's so many people that still believe that, incantations and changing your mindset and changing your neurological pathways is actually evil or wrong or, woohoo or magic or something like that. But we're just talking about building better practices within our mind.
That's
right?
Exactly right. Sure is, because everybody...
So here we have... Yes, we have a delay. Go.
Oh, okay. Well, I believe everybody is already hypnotized. And I remember saying that...
I like that. And, yeah?
Well, we all are in certain patterns of behavior, certain belief systems, certain habits. We're already hypnotized, conditioned, if you like. Our mind is set from the very early years of our lives and then with additional experiences that we have later in life. So my role is to take people from the trance that they're in, which may not be helping them live the life they want, over to the trance, the conditions, the beliefs, the values and the habits for the life that they do want to live.
Yeah. So what made you decide that you wanted to do this and get out of your corporate life, your corporate role?
Okay.
That's a big transition for many people. And I think that a lot of us have been through that in the last year or so, but you went through it quite a few years ago now.
Yes. In 2005, I had a major back injury through surfboat rowing, and I was going to be a paraplegic. I had the surgery. I didn't become a paraplegic, thankfully. I went through depression, suicide attempt, and I was sent to, or referred to, a guy who does what I do now. And within 3 or 4 sessions, he turned me round from trying to end my life to embracing life. And in 2008, the GFC came. My future was freed up for new opportunities. And I sought a life coach and wanted to work out the next direction for my life. And when I look back on that experience being so powerful and so pivotal, and so I chose to do my studies in clinical hypnotherapy and neuro-linguistic programming.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And I talk about this with all of my clients. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Every cloud has a silver lining. It doesn't matter how bad something seems to be at the time. And I know we've all been through this. For whatever reason, there's always something good that can come out of it. I always look at it like that now because everybody is going to go through bad stuff. We all are. But there's something beyond the bad stuff that we don't even
Mm.
see sometimes. We can't even comprehend or imagine in our lives because we're so stuck in our own rut. And that's what I love about what you do. And that's why we have such great synergy, is because we're both really dedicated to the same thing, breaking people's patterns of self-expression so they can live a more fulfilled life.
Absolutely. So it's
Yeah.
taking those blinkers off,
Oh, yeah.
because you can't see the opportunities that are out there if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
focused only here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wayne, I used to think that my life was complete chaos and I would bump into things. I got hit by a car twice. I was very accident prone. And it was like, when you really think of it, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, right? Even your
Absolutely.
business is a blueprint, as they say, of your mind. If you look at somebody's car or room, you know, if it's chaos and mess everywhere, you can see what's going on in somebody's mind. So, you know, when I had my blinkers on, I was very unconscious, very unconscious. I didn't even remember driving from A to B. You know, those days where you just literally, and then suddenly you're home, is like, oh my God, how did I get home? And I wasn't even paying attention. How many red lights did I run getting home because I wasn't paying attention? I wasn't being mindful at all. I was completely unconscious.
That's
So
called highway hypnosis.
yeah, yeah. So in your opinion, why is it that you see in your clients, I know that you do this, why is it that people don't reach goals in the first place?
Because their mind, their unconscious mind, is out of alignment with the goals. So if they don't believe they can do it, it's a self-worth, self-image issue. The values that they have, the beliefs that they have, and then they won't get it. They just won't get their goals if their mind is not in the right place. So it's
Well,
like having a thermostat. So if your goal is to make $100,000, but you only believe you can make $50,000 a year, you will never make $100,000 because the thermostat is set so low. So
yeah.
if you want to change and be able to achieve your goals, you have to move the thermostat up, your self-image, what you believe, so that you can go and achieve it.
Absolutely. And look, I find that the same happens with my clients. I keep telling people, you know, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make them drink. I can teach you in 12 classes when I'm teaching my VIP students. I can teach you exactly what to do, exactly how to say it, how to switch your engine on, how to be engaging on camera and all that. I can teach you that, no problem. But if your mindset or your psychology or belief system is holding you back, you're not going to do what I ask you to do. It's like having a business coach. Doesn't matter how many thousands of dollars we spend on a business coach. If you secretly don't believe you can probably make that $100,000, you're never going to make it. You've got to keep breaking through that glass ceiling to the next level. It is so important. And that's why I think some of my students and some of the people in our midst here need people like you, because you have to be able to break out of that cycle. You have to be able to. When I was stuck in that victim mentality straight after my breakup a couple of years ago, I knew that I had to get out. I knew that I had to change my mind, but I was like digging in with my heels down and I didn't know what to do. I was sinking. So when you completely gave me that anchor and changed things around, it just opened up new possibilities and new ways of thinking. And it made me remember, actually, it made me remember how it felt like to be empowered and confident. And I'd forgotten that. I'd completely forgotten. And that was hugely important. I think that's one of the magic things that you do.
It's just changing the mind. It is a world of infinite possibilities. It's just opening the
Absolutely.
mind to see them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We've got Chris. Hey, Chris. Nice to see you here again. Goedemorgen. It's probably morgen in Belgium. Goedemorgen from Belgium. It's lovely to see you. Hoe gaat het? Graag gedaan for being here. Dankjewel for, I don't know how to say being here in Dutch. But let's go on to another question to help people get through this. How can we use our unconscious mind to reach our goals more effectively? Because sometimes our conscious mind gets in the way, doesn't it?
It certainly does. So what we can do, the language of the conscious mind is logic and reason. The language of the unconscious mind is symbols and emotions. So we need to communicate Yeah, well, the old
I'm going to
saying
write
is
that
that
down.
we make buying decisions emotionally and then justify them with logic. So
Oh,
we
yes,
need to we need to communicate to the unconscious mind in a very emotional, powerful way. So we need to be emotionally attached to our goals, not just look. There's a vision board. There's an affirmation. So that's one part of it. The other part is lifting our self-image so that we are the person that lives those goals.
Yeah.
So we have to become the person that has the goal before we get the goal.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's exactly right. And some people I think have a bit of a hard time on understanding that concept, but I do that in one of my modules in my online course, The Psychology Behind the Sound. I ask people who do they need to become
mm,
in order to be the person or speak like the person that they really admire.
yeah,
And you're
yeah,
saying exactly, because it's so true, isn't it? We wish and we dream and we fantasize, but if we don't step into that first, how are you ever going to attract like equals like? How are you
mm,
ever going to step into the person that you need to be to attract the perfect partner or to attract the perfect client,
that's right.
right? Or to grow your business? It's so sensible. It's so sensible. So I know you're short on time today, and I'm going to be very mindful of that. Wayne is going to be on radio shortly after this. Tell us about your radio gig today. Where is that?
That's with Mix 1073 on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. And that's for one of the things I do is entertainment with hypnosis shows. And that's what I'll be doing at Old Bar Beach tomorrow night.
Oh, nice. Okay. So if people don't know that you do that, tell us a little bit about those entertainment shows, because I've seen the videos and stuff and it looks so lots and lots of fun. So some people might be out there saying, oh, I've seen a hypnotist to make you, do like a chicken, make like a chicken or eat an onion or something. And they say, oh, it's not real. It's all fake. So tell us, Wayne, what's the truth?
It's absolutely real. When people come to you for a one-on-one session or a group workshop to create change, they've already convinced themselves it's going to work. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. At a show, it's a little bit different because you will have a lot of skeptics, and sometimes they make the best volunteers. They come along and yes, it's true, because they've got this guard and then that's gone, and then they come up to the stage. So I talk to people. I've got to develop instant rapport and give them a few tests so they can convince themselves that something is happening. And then I get some volunteers on stage. I sort out the good from the bad, keep the good ones, and just make them do.
Good enough. Go away. Sit down. Next. You stay. You're good. Bad. Sit down.
That's that's it. Because we want to have a show, we want to have fun. So
Yeah.
I sort them out, and then we'll do at the beginning. There's a number of things which deepen the trance and the conviction of what is happening. So they'll put their hands up in the air and they can't pull it down. When they go to pull it down, the other hand gets stuck on that arm, and which is a great analogy for what I do in therapy and corporate workshops and business coaching. People get stuck.
Yeah.
And what I do is unstick them, as you do. So there'll be amnesia, so they can't count the number 2. They can't remember their name. They can't remember who they came with to the show. If there are people on stage who are having issues with smoking and weight loss, I'll just say during the break, every time you try to touch a cigarette, it'll burn your fingers, or you'll throw up, or you'll think it tastes like dog poo or something, which is usually pretty revolting. Or if they go to have something sweet to eat, they won't be able to get it in their mouth. It'll just feel revolting, taste revolting. So I give people a few little things, and always at the end of a show, I work on self-image. Every time they look in the mirror, they'll just feel like $1 million a star. Because
That
most people,
is super fun.
yeah. So we have a lot of fun, and then I just give them a nice little hypnotic gift at the end.
What's the hypnotic gift?
Feeling good about yourself.
Oh, isn't that awesome? That's so great. And if you did that in a show, for instance, how long does it stick?
It sticks.
Yeah.
If
Isn't
they've
it
been
interesting?
if they've
Even
been,
from one show. Wow.
because they've been in and out of trance for 2 hours, their
Yeah.
mind is completely plastic, and we create the change.
That's so fantastic. So you talk about 3 steps that you help people with to help
Yeah.
people fall in love with these goals and to really break through these blockages. So what are the 3 steps that you use specifically?
Okay. Very first thing is that you must have a well-defined outcome or a well-formed outcome. So more than a vision board, you want to be able to make it almost like a holograph, and you've got to see yourself as that person with all the things that the goal is going to bring you, the things you can get emotionally attached to. So what are you dressed in? What's your body shape like? Your level of fitness, your relationship, in every single detail. What does it taste like, feel like, smell like, in every sense, and the emotion that's in it. And you just got to put the emotion in it. That's the first step, really knowing what the destination is, because we're setting the GPS in the unconscious mind to tell the unconscious mind to program it, hey, that's where we're going. So you create this beautiful holograph, something that is so powerful, so attractive. It's like when you see the one, your eyes meet across the room, you go, yes, I've fallen in love with this person. This is what we want to create. And then the next thing is to imagine stepping into the holograph and seeing through the eyes of the ideal you, hearing through the ears of the ideal you, feeling what it's like to be in the body of the ideal you, and taking on. It's like when you go to a clothes store and you try on a new dress or a new suit or whatever it is, and you feel it and you go, oh yeah, I feel like $1 million. You stand like this ideal person, look around you through the eyes of the ideal you, hear the beautiful things that you say to yourself as the ideal you, and just fully associate into this. And the third step is keep practicing until you are. Oh, I remember a beautiful thing Dr. Joe Vitale says, you keep doing it until you are the miracle. That's the nutshell version.
I love it. I absolutely love it. But that is so true. That's absolutely so true. But I think that people don't do it because A, they don't believe in it, and B, it sounds like a lot of work. And it is, but it does work. I did a very small NLP course years and years ago, 20, 30 years ago or something, for about 8 weeks. And even though I didn't really understand what it was at the time, I was fascinated in learning and I just wanted to learn something new. I put that little thing together that you just talked about, and even though I didn't know what it was at the time, and I used it to develop a new show. When I was on cruise ships, this absolutely works, guys. I was on cruise ships and I was so nervous about putting this new show together. I was freaking out. So I spent months and months putting it together, and then I had to sit on the deck looking at the ocean every single day, imagining all of that, imagining every single song, every note, the standing ovation at the end. And then I even imagined my reward, which was a French martini. So if I did well, I was great. If I did well in the show and I got a standing ovation, I felt good about myself, I would go to the bar and go, I would like a French martini, as my little reward. And guess what? Everything worked out exactly as I'd imagined. And I did it for weeks. It made a huge difference. It was really worth the while.
Yeah, well, Olympic athletes, they do mental rehearsal. They run their game over and over and over again, and then they do it. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, I know you have to get onto another program, so I'll let you go. But guys, if you have any questions, this is the place to ask them. And we have one, I'm just going to put one comment from Chris, who's calling in from Belgium today. She's tuning in on YouTube. Welcome and thank you so much for being here, Chris. Chris de Boven from Belgium. Motivation is a great to feel good. I'm not quite following that, but I think, the thing is motivation, before we end, just quickly, you can find, guys, Wayne, if you're watching the replay, you're watching it on YouTube or watching it on Facebook, you can find Wayne at waynedonnelly.com. Or if you want to ask him a question, just pop it underneath the video in the replay and we'll be able to go back to those platforms and then answer that. You can always find Wayne and book him for a session at waynedonnelly.com. I think that motivation is a choice and a discipline. What's your quick last thoughts on that?
People need motivation because they're not in love with their goals. If you've got a goal, you don't need motivation. If you're in love with your goal, you don't need the motivation because you'll go and do it.
Well, exactly right. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a matter of alignment.
Yeah, I don't think it's got anything to do with emotional feeling in that way, motivation, because if I have a goal to go and lose weight and to get fit, I'm going to get up and go to the gym whether I feel like it or not. I'm just going to do it.
That's right. Love and be kind to yourself. It's a natural thing.
Yeah, yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and your love today. We really appreciate that. It's been an absolute joy. Is there anything you'd like to finish off with?
No, I think we've covered a great deal in a short time. Thank you so much, Elisa.
You're very, very welcome. You have a wonderful interview. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, guys. And remember to post underneath if you have any questions or any comments. We'd love to see you next time. Wayne, I'll let you answer this inside the Find Your Voice Aspiring Speakers Club later. Can hypnosis help with underlying fears? I know you have to go.
Absolutely. I do phobias and phobia removals for all sorts of things. Snakes, spiders, elevators, flying. And phobias are one of the easiest things to remove. They're really so powerful. It's if you did a search in YouTube for on my name plus Laura's spider phobia, you see a woman in 20 minutes going from fear of spiders in a resin block to playing with a funnel web in the moving room at the reptile park. It's an 8-minute video.
Oh my God. Okay, we've got to go and watch that. Spiders, funnel webs, and Wayne?
Laura, spider phobia.
Okay,
I'll
great.
flick you a link later on.
Yeah, do it. And inside the Find Your Voice Aspiring Speakers Club, you can pop anything that you want underneath the video.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. See you guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.